Hey everybody, welcome back to Stamping School. Had a request from Sharon to use this tree border punch. This is in the annual catalog, the Stampin' Up! 2021 to 2022. I think it's called the Evergreen Border Punch. And there's a bundle with it, there's a stamp set with it, but the punch is just great for all year round for all kinds of cards. And this one is retiring. This is in the Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog, July to December. Thinking Things and Peace. It's got Sending Things, Thinking of You, Peace on Earth, and then this little boo right here. I love any sentiments that are nice and large. You know, they ink up so nicely, and in this case, we're gonna do some embossing on it, and they just emboss so nicely. Look at that nice, crisp image. All right, let's jump on in. This card is an easy fold. It doesn't require a ton of paper. This is actually the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 A2 size, and it's just the panel. And then a few little panels here that are embossed, 1 1/2 inches each by 4. And then this piece is 3 1/2 inches wide, and it's 4 inches tall here to create the card. And you can move this up a little bit and sign here, or you've got some room up here to sign. But I'm going to show you how to do this punch first. Sharon was saying she had a hard time getting the trees to line up right. I always start with a 6-inch piece of cardstock because that's how long the punch is. And I know I'm going to trim it down a little, but I like to make sure that I have enough full trees to go across the whole way. That's almost 5 1/2 inches. So I start with 6 inches. I line it up right here, and I give myself enough to hold on to. So this is a 2-inch wide piece of cardstock. This is the Evening Evergreen. I start exactly in the middle. I punch. Sorry, the camera's moving a little when I punch. So that put those right in the middle. Now these little guides are where you want to line these trees up with. So there's 3 right here. So then I move these to this side, and you can see right there that you're going to line those up exactly on top. Once they're aligned exactly, and what you think you should do is push it all the way this way, but see how it's not aligned anymore? They need to be perfectly covering the guide. There you go. And punch. There. And now we move it to the other side. And these trees here will cover this side right here. And there they are. So here's the base of the card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then I embossed 2 panels of gold foil that are 4 inches, and they're each 1 1/2 inches. You could probably go a little less, but I like to make sure it's really in there. These are so pretty. It's a set in the holiday catalog, and I believe they're retiring. Wintry embossing folders. They're 3D. One's a snowflake, and one has these pretty pine needles, and they're the skinny ones that'll work in the little tiny machine that we have, or the regular, if you have a Big Shot or whatever cutting machine you have, they work the same. And if you have a good eye, you don't have to put a guide down. You just want to make sure that they're not crooked, that they're nice and straight. So if you need a guide, you can cut one down with a piece of copy paper even, if you want to, 4 by 5 1/4, and then as long as this completely covers it, right there on each side, so you have a guide. Or if you want to say paper, you can wing it. I'm going to wing it. These gold foils, they come 3 different tones in a package, are carrying over, which is great, and I love them. They have like just a little bit of a brushed appearance to them. But any gold foil will work. And just leave the same amount of relief all the way around the layer, or the mat, I suppose. And just really make sure that especially this top is nice and straight. All right, now for the stamping. This is just your good old basic white. And this is, 3 1/2 inches by 8, scored at 4. So it's just a 3 1/2 by 4 panel. Or you can try shimmery white. I'm going to try some shimmery white. This is in the annual catalog. It's thick and it's got a nice finish to it. And it's got little tiny sparkles all over it. So I'm going to try that. Here's my stamp. I'm going to emboss this with Versamark. Versamark is that great sticky ink. It's clear. Your pad can get dirty. It won't matter. We're going to emboss with gold embossing powder. Now, if you want to save some time, you can do it in the green. This is stamped with the Evening Evergreen ink. I just did that. And then I punched the gold trees. So there was a little bit of gold here. And then I did a row across the bottom of the green. I did put a little gold moon in there. So if you want to save some time and not emboss, you can definitely do it with just the green. Now the dove is connected to this stamp. And I think I'm going to keep this one, and I'm actually going to trim this out so it's just Peace on Earth, and then I can put him anywhere I want to on the card. Same goes with this long sending thanks. I want to use this year round. I'm going to trim this off. So I'm just going to take scissors and just come in and trim that off, and I'll store it in there and I can use it for other things. And that way this can be used not just with this little fall image at the end. Make sure you use some kind of an embossing buddy, little baking powder, baking soda, baby powder, anything on the paper just to take off anything that the gold embossing powder is going to stick to. Get that ready. Using Versamark all over. And we're going to stamp it sort of up a little bit higher, close to the seam, so that I have room for those trees underneath. I know, you can't see a thing. And lots of gold. Keep a little paintbrush nearby so you can flick off any little flyaways. And this goes back in, and we'll heat it. All right, here we go. Just love it every time I emboss. It's the magic. So a lot of people will do this. If you do this, you don't really know if you miss a spot. Just be really methodical. Not too close, not too far away. You want it to be nice and smooth. If you find that it's not smooth, you might need more Versamark. So you might need to refill your ink pad and make sure it's nice and juicy so the powder has something to hang on to. And remember, if you miss just a little spot, you can use your Eraser Mate, your Papermate erasable pen, and you can just kind of go in and touch up a little spot you missed, repowder, and it's fixed. Same way we can sign the back of the dark cards. Now, sometimes it's a little wonky from the heat embossing. Make sure you use a clean bone folder. Just make sure it's nice and crisp. Lots of glue up at the top especially. And nice and straight all the way across. Ah, isn't that pretty? If you want to add a little Wink of Stella, it's already glittery. This is the shimmer paper, but I'm going to add just a little bit more Wink of Stella right in the dove, so it's extra sparkly there. I think it'd be pretty too to add a little bit of glue, liquid glue through here, and then some pretty like white glitter. It'd be very pretty up there. Now we can choose what trees we keep. I'm going to keep this one, these right here. Just give it a little wiggle cut and a little wiggle cut on this side. There we go. You can use glue dots to hold these down, or just a little bit of tape like this. It's a little area to glue, but that works. Now you could also just do a card with wood grains and trees and keep it all nature themed. It doesn't have to be for the holidays. I'm going to put these two trees over here and two trees in here. And that goes over on this side. And if you want to, like I did, you can do the gold trees on the inside, stamp the nice big thinking of you or something else here, and you're done. Add a couple little rhinestones. These are the in colors, so you added a couple evergreen rhinestones. I like it. All right, go make one. We'll see you next time. See it, learn it, stamp it.